I really wanted to capture this because this is the last of the daylilies here, these particular ones. Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden. Yes, I have some wonderful flowers that I want to show you today. Yes, and these flowers are blooming in my August garden. Time for blooming. Are you blooming? Well, I tell you that I am blooming and my garden is blooming, and I want you to bloom with me, and I want us to go around the garden and look at all of the beautiful flowers for August. My garden is just awake, and this is prime time for the garden. Everything is alive and lush and beautiful, especially this year. I believe that because of all the rain that we've been receiving, and it was a really wet spring and a wet early summer, and even now we still get rain. My water bill has been very good this year. That the flowers have really responded to the cooler temperatures and the wet weather, the watering of the garden. So come with me as I go around and I look at the flowers with you and I together, looking at the beauty of the garden and how the garden is just blooming. Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden. You know what I've noticed today? That the roses are really in bloom again. These are the roses by the deck, and they have opened up all over again. And that's such a good thing. So now I'm getting the roses from a different perspective, which is great. So now that the lilies are coming out of bloom, the roses are coming back into bloom. And so that the garden is just evolving all over again. I cut back this rose bush, but it has decided that it wants to rebloom, and it really suffered a lot with this black spot. But as I cut it back, new growth has come in, and I'm getting these fresh roses. And this rose bush here is also in the state of rebloom. This is a red knockout rose, and it just looks so beautiful here with what is left of the lilies. I'm very happy about that. And then also over here in this side of the garden, my rose bush here, yeah, curly pink is back. It's looking as beautiful as ever. Well, I just wanted you to see the last of these daylilies. They are only for a day, and they are giving their final bloom. And this one is a new one for this year. I must have planted it a couple of years back, because I remember ordering special daylilies and planting them in, not knowing what would come up. And finally it grew big enough to finally show up. And I don't think there were any more. There's probably one more left there. But this is so unique. It's so different from the other color that I have like this, the ditch lilies. You remember the ditch lilies? But this is a double petaled daylily. Isn't that beautiful? And hopefully it will grow larger and have more blooms for next year. Now this is another one that came in that special package of daylilies, and I got two of the same kind here, and they are just so gorgeous. I think this is the last one, yeah, for both of them. This is the last of them. So let's just take a good look and look at it and enjoy it. Yes, because it only lasts for a day. Isn't that life? Yeah. But I'm thankful, and it's encouraging, because I might just continue to look for special daylilies and purchase them and plant them in, and you just have to be patient and it will bloom. Another special bloom are these begonias, tuberous begonias, and I purchased these last year, saved the tubers and planted them out, and they are now flowering in abundance. Isn't that pretty? And it's nice because it gives some garden interest. Especially at this time when it's so needed. Here's another one. Now look at that. Look at the fullness of that. And I just love it with the coleus. This particular one loves this spot because it's just been blooming and blooming and blooming. I've not had to do much to it, and I believe that the tuber is probably pretty large, so I must definitely save it before the first frost, so that I can have it for next year. Absolutely beautiful. And these coleus are just amazing. I'm going to pinch this out so that it can continue to bush up and out. And I love it with the purple perella. I'm going to have to go through and deadhead. This is my pear, my Asian pear. They continue to grow. It's nice. I'm going to have to continue to go through and deadhead and do other things in the garden. But in the moment, look, this is another one. I purchased this one at one of my local gardening centers, and it's coming out really nice. I love it. I believe that this one does not receive as much sun, but I hate to move it because I love this arrangement right here. With this sun impatiens and the coleus. I really have become a lover of the coleus because it gives continual color. The flowers are nothing to really speak about, but these leaves are so intense. And I just picked up a 6-pack from my gardener person that creates all of the seedlings for us, and it's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. And I look forward to this. I'm going to continue to keep this design here. I don't know if this is a good sign or a bad sign, but my apples are starting to turn red. I don't know if that's too early or not, but they are turning red here. This is really my first time growing apples. I remember just longing to have an apple tree, and it came about. This kind, I think, is, let's see, I can see the name tag. This is the Honey Crisp apple. Yeah, this is on, it's grafted. Different apple types are grafted on the apple tree. This is the Cortland. I have one Cortland apple here. And then I have one, let's see what this one is. I have one Macintosh. And it too is turning red. So soon I will have apples to eat, even though they're so small. But it's a small tree, so it's good to know. Well, now these yellow flowers have decided to open up. What I did was cut back a lot of them, and I wish I didn't earlier in the year because it looked like it was overtaking the spot. But now is when their beauty comes forth, and I kind of denied them that. But hopefully next year it will thicken up. This fennel plant has really become very special to me, and I really like it with the cleome and the purple perella. I just like the color. It's so intricate and airy. And then also with these cosmos coming in, check this out. So this front garden is going through some transformation. I just want you to see also what is happening with the squash plant. I loved what it did last year. It just climbed through the bed and produced a lot of butternut squash for me. And so here it is. See where it's coming? Look, and here's a beautiful blossom, which I'm hoping will produce a beautiful squash. And it's just trailing through. I'm going to just let it do its thing. This is a weedy thing, but I love its shape and design. And later on I'll probably pull them out, but for right now it looks very nice. And my tomatoes are doing well. But the new thing that's in the garden right now is the phlox. So I want to introduce you to my phlox. And the phlox plant was given to me by my former pastor, and it was with the church that I used to attend, my parents' home church. They had a garden, and in that garden they had this beautiful phlox, and I asked the pastor to give me a piece of the phlox, and the phlox actually have been in the ground for like the last 4 or 5 years, and each year they've just become more and more beautiful. Now I've added in this corner buddleia, or butterfly bush, which the bees, the butterflies, and the hummingbirds love. Now the hummingbirds really love this phlox, and they also love the bee balm. So this has been a really great combination for the pollinators in my garden. Then also here you can see that the hydrangea tree is starting to open up, and just a beautiful sight here. Pull back a little bit. Yeah, so this is just a beautiful sight right here of the phlox. The bee balm and buddleia and the purple phlox. So this front garden is really, really full now, and there are a lot of things in place here that are just growing, and just from this angle it just looks so beautiful, and I just want to capture it as much as possible because it's really full. This is like the best time of the garden to me, well, one of the best times. Just nice and full. I have here the daylilies, and I just love this yellow color. And I love the fact that they're coming in nicely with the hydrangea. Just looks good together. And now with the trailing of the squashes, look at this. This is such a beautiful scene. Isn't that pretty? my watermelon plant is just trailing, and also the cantaloupe. I'm just gonna let them do their thing. Whatever happens, happens. And if I get, hallelujah. If I don't get, hallelujah anyway. But this has just been a beautiful, beautiful showcase of flowers and beauty. And I just really love it here. I don't know what that is. But whatever it is, it seems like it's a pollinator and it's helping itself. Now, these cosmos have been a real joy. I did not have cosmos in my garden last year, and one of the other gardeners, she had cosmos in her garden, and I said, I'm going to try that. I'm going to throw out some seeds and plant some cosmos in my garden. And I'm so glad that I did, because this is just a beautiful, beautiful display here of cosmos flowers. They've just added such a cottagey, carefree look to the garden. And I love the double petals here. I really have to save these seeds. It's so different. Well, if you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe, and come back again to Catherine's Garden. Share my garden with others and let them know of the joy that you are experiencing here with me in the garden. Because that's the whole idea, to enjoy this experience, to enjoy gardening, and to enjoy the beauty that's all around us. Well, see you next time in Catherine's Garden. Bye.